Hi, my name is Mike and I'm the owner of paintmycurb.com, and today I wanted to show you how I get business without knocking on doors and trying to convince people to let me paint their curbs. So the first thing I do is I go to paintmycurb.com and I print up these flyers for free. I'll put the link down below. There's no sign up fee, anyone could do it. And then I'll also show you how these flyers work. So when the customer scans a QR code, there's also a short code. It'll take them to the page where all your services are provided. They could scroll through your various services to see what you have to offer. At the bottom of mine, I've turned on some of our recent work just so they could see that it's actually someone who does the work and not just someone trying to trick them into spending money on a website. Let's say that somebody decides to choose one. Now it opens options where they could also get maybe premium white or reflective add-on paint. And then we'll go ahead and continue to book. And then you could see that it's going to charge $166.12, and the $612 is a service fee and the credit card fees. The painter is going to receive $160 for this order. And once I do that, I'll start tracking my route. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it on my phone, but I'll go ahead and I'll do a screenshot later on. And so I click start tracking route. And what that's going to do is it's going to track where I walk, so that way I'll know in the future that I've already covered a certain area. So from there, I'll just look at the various curbs and I'll look to see if it looks like it needs painting. And so I typically print up 100 flyers at a time, and it takes me about an hour to pass those out when I'm doing it quickly. I get about a 5% return. Last week I passed out 100 flyers on Wednesday. On Saturday I had 5 orders and I made $350 for 4 hours worth of work. And the reason being is because I only do flyers or curbs that look like they need it. If it looks nice, I obviously won't do it. And so I've never had a single curb that looks nice I put a flyer on where they wanted it done. So basically I just walk up to the house. I put one of my flyers, I put tape like this. And I'll just, if there's a gate, I won't open the gate. I just put it right inside like this so they'll see it eventually. And I do it lightly too. The first time I started doing this, I was actually really nervous. Like I had to psych myself out in order to do this. I probably sat there for a week to 2 weeks pretending like I was doing it. And I don't know why I was so uncomfortable with it, but it just didn't feel right. But after doing this 1 or 2 times, it's not a big deal. It's actually really easy to do now. I used to be afraid that people would be upset at me walking on their property. I haven't had that happen whatsoever. But I also do try to follow all our local laws. I don't put things on mailboxes. I don't do anything that I feel like could damage their property. I try to always be mindful of how this is going to affect them or their property, such as I won't put this at eye level so when they walk out it pokes them in the eye. Or I don't put this on stained wood where it ends up pulling the color off their stain. Instead what I do is I try to find a place where I can put it nicely. I just set it softly like that. I don't push hard because I don't want to pull off any paint. And I just move on to the next one. And sometimes I'll see people as I'm doing this. They're always friendly and I just ask them, do you want a flyer to get your curb painted possibly? If they say yeah, I give it to them. If they say no, I just walk away. I think I've had one time where a person just banged on his window really quick and let me know that he wasn't interested, and I was happy with that. I just gave him thumbs up, said no problem. I walked away. This curb's fine. I don't want to waste my time going to curbs that, like I said, are not going to do it. And I tend to walk on the street a lot just so I could look at the curb. But a curb like this one, the numbers are missing, the background's gone, I'll do that one too. But on the screen door, I never cover the Ring camera. I'm not trying to block their view. And as I go from house to house, I forgot to mention too, I have a blank piece of paper on the back of my flyers. And the reason I do that is because after walking for a bit, my arm tends to get sweaty, so that last piece of paper gets really warped, and I don't want to hang that on someone's house. Now even something like this where they have a gate, I don't typically go to the front door. I just put it on the gate because they're going to see it. They're going to walk through their gate. And sometimes, if it looks like it's too hard to get to, like I won't open his gate, I'll just put it on the outside. And I put it on the metal here because this is wood and I don't want to pull anything off. I do try to do it on the inside of the gate if I can.
Right there too.
I try not to walk in people's grass if possible, but I don't want to hit their car, obviously. I just very gently put that on the door. So like if you have been concerned about doing the flyers, like you don't want to do them, it's actually really easy. It's not nearly as nerve-wracking as it seems it's going to be. I find this a lot easier and a lot more efficient than knocking on a door and talking to somebody, because I'm not a salesperson, so I let the flyer do the sales for me. There's been times I've walked through a neighborhood and I've already gotten orders by the time I'm done walking. On this one, I just put it very softly on the paint so that way it doesn't hurt the paint. I have seen some doors that people have previously put tape on. It looks like they put it on really hard and peeled up part of the door, and that's not what I'm trying to do. I do get uncomfortable with the houses that have dogs inside. I walk up to the door and they start barking really crazily, so I just gently put it on and walk away. My flyers, they say notice on top, and that's what the default setting is, just because it tends to catch people's eye more when they see there's a notice. They want to know what the notice is for. One thing I found with the flyers too is if you post flyers too far in advance, people will wait till the last minute to actually get it done before they book an appointment. Usually 2 to 4 days, but I do 3 days typically in order to get appointments, and it works really well. And this is a nice wood door, so I just barely gingerly put it on the metal. And I normally do this by myself too. I don't have a partner I'm walking around with, so it's really easy to do even when you're by yourself. So for one like this, even though you can clearly see the numbers, the background's faded, so I still do this one as well, because I have had orders like that. This one I won't do. It's already nice, and every once in a while I'll do one like this just to see if I'll get an order for it, so I could prove myself wrong, but I've never gotten orders for nice ones. And I guess that's basically it. I've got a couple flyers left over from houses I've skipped. I actually printed out enough based off of paintmycurb.com. I went to the find and I looked at the different addresses and I printed them up just because I was trying to be precise. But yeah, it's really easy. So I'll put in the description the link to paintmycurb.com so that way you could pass out flyers and get additional business too. Thank you. Bye-bye.